Alex had always believed space exploration would be about science, charts, and data. He never imagined it would involve standing under a violet sky, on a planet far beyond the reaches of Earth, with creatures that looked like something out of a legend, staring straight at him. The Varelians were magnificent, tall and strong, with smooth silver-blue skin that shimmered under the twin suns. Their eyes were large, reflective, and intelligent, filled with curiosity and caution at the same time. He had come as part of a diplomatic and scientific mission. Humans had made contact with the Varelians only a decade ago, and trust between the species was fragile. His role was simple: observe, learn, and report. But as he stepped off the ship, the weight of this alien world hit him immediately. The air was crisp, carrying a scent of sharp minerals mixed with something strangely sweet. The ground beneath his boots glimmered slightly, like tiny crystals embedded in dark soil. Alex had been prepared for meetings, protocols, and formalities. What he had not been prepared for was Lyria. She appeared before him as if she had stepped out of a vision. Young, beautiful, and commanding, she moved with the fluidity of a predator and the grace of a dancer. Her armor was lightweight, built for both speed and protection, and it accentuated her lithe but muscular frame. She stopped a few feet away from him, tilting her head slightly, her eyes studying him with an intensity that made Alex feel both nervous and strangely exhilarated. "You are human," she said, her voice musical, almost a whisper, yet carrying authority. "Yes," Alex replied, trying to sound calm. "Alex Carter. I'm here to observe, learn, and help if I can." She nodded once, sharp and precise. "The Varelians respect those who come with purpose. But purpose alone is not enough. You must understand our ways if you wish to walk among us." Alex swallowed. He had studied their culture, their history, even their language. He knew about their traditions, their hierarchy, and the importance of the mating season. But nothing could have prepared him for standing here, knowing that in a few days, this tradition would put him in a position he never thought he'd be in. The elders had explained it to him. Every 7 years, the Varelians enter the mating season, a sacred period where each mature Varelian chooses a partner. This was more than desire, it was survival. The chosen partners would carry on the strongest genes, maintain alliances, and ensure the well-being of the next generation. And according to their rules, the choice was the individual's to make, regardless of rank or expectation. Alex's heart sank slightly when he realized what this could mean. He was not Varelian. He did not share their strength, their longevity, or even their biology. How could he possibly fit into this? Before he could dwell too long on his doubts, Lyria spoke again. "Alex Carter, human. You will participate in the trials, yes?" He blinked. "Trials?" She moved closer, her gaze steady. "To be chosen as a partner is not simple. Strength, courage, intelligence, and respect must be proven. Our people do not accept ignorance or weakness. If you fail, you will not be honored, and you may even be sent away." Alex felt the gravity of her words, but beneath the fear, a spark of determination grew. He had come this far to this alien world, and he would not let uncertainty stop him. He nodded slowly. "I will do what I can." For the next few days, he followed her and her warriors across the crystalline plains, through forests where the trees glowed faintly at night, and over rivers that seemed to flow like liquid glass. He observed, learned, and struggled to keep up. The trials were subtle at first, tests of observation, mental puzzles, and physical agility. Alex discovered quickly that intelligence alone could impress the Varelians, but bravery and adaptability won respect. During one trial, they were asked to retrieve a rare plant from a cliffside. The climb was treacherous and several warriors hesitated. Alex's human instincts, his experience as an explorer, gave him an edge. He calculated each step, found stable grips, and kept moving without panic. When he reached the top, he handed the plant to Lyria, and for the first time she smiled. A fleeting, radiant smile that made his chest tighten. "You are not what I expected," she said softly. "Humanity surprises me." Alex shrugged, trying to hide his satisfaction. "I'm full of surprises," Lyria chuckled, a sound that was rare among her people. "Perhaps. But survival, courage, and respect are not enough. You must understand me, Alex. To be my partner, you must understand what it means to share life with a Varelian." She led him to a quiet valley, where soft wind danced over fields of silver grass. "We are not like humans," she explained. Our lives are measured differently. We live long. Our bonds are strong and our traditions are sacred. Mating is not just intimacy. It is trust, respect, and shared responsibility. You must see that clearly. Alex nodded, listening carefully. He felt a connection growing between them. Not romantic yet not fully understood, but real. Her words carried weight, and he realized that being chosen meant far more than he had ever imagined. Then came the unexpected, the announcement of her official choice. In front of the council, in a hall of crystalline light, Lyria stepped forward. The council waited, tense and silent, as she spoke. "This season," she said, her voice unwavering, "requires a partner. I choose him." Alex froze. The hall buzzed with murmurs and whispers. He was certain he had misheard. Humans were outsiders. How could she? Lyria's eyes met his, steady and unflinching. "Alex Carter," she said again, "you will walk this path with me. If you accept, you will honor both your species and mine. If you refuse, you will leave, and this opportunity is gone forever." Alex's mind raced. Fear, excitement, and disbelief clashed inside him. Yet as he looked at her, he realized something profound. This was not about him being human or different. This was about trust, respect, and courage. And he had learned in these past days that he could rise to challenges he never thought possible. "I accept," he said finally, his voice firm. The reaction was immediate. Some of the council members nodded with approval, while others murmured in shock. Alex could feel their scrutiny, their doubts, but he also felt a strange pride. He had chosen to step forward, to embrace the unknown, and in doing so, he had earned his place. The following days were not easy. He faced physical challenges that tested his strength, mental exercises that tested his intelligence, and social interactions that tested his understanding of Varelian culture. Every moment was a lesson, and every lesson drew him closer to Lyria. One evening, as twin suns set over the horizon, painting the sky in shades of pink and violet, Alex and Lyria stood together on a cliff, overlooking the sparkling plains below. Silence hung between them, comfortable and unforced. "You are changing," Lyria said finally, her eyes fixed on him. "You are learning, adapting, and growing. I did not choose you lightly. Few humans would endure this path." Alex looked at her, feeling a mixture of admiration and awe. "I didn't come here to be chosen," he admitted. "I came to understand. But I think I want to stay." Lyria smiled faintly. "Then stay. Learn, grow, and walk this path with me. But know this, our people will test you, doubt you, challenge you. You must be ready, not just for me, but for them." He nodded, determination steadying in his chest. "I will be ready." That night, as he lay under the alien sky, the stars twinkling in unfamiliar constellations, Alex realized that this was more than an adventure. It was a test of character, courage, and humanity. Being chosen by Lyria was not about luck. It was about proving that a human could rise to the challenge of an alien world, honor its traditions, and respect its people. And for the first time in his life, Alex felt truly alive. The peace did not last. Word of Lyria's choice spread quickly, and not everyone was pleased. A rival faction among the Varelians, strong and proud, began to stir. They whispered that no human could truly honor their traditions, that a mistake had been made. Alex knew the coming days would not be easy. He would have to prove himself again and again, not just to Lyria, but to her people. But for now, standing beside her, feeling her confidence in him, Alex allowed himself a moment of hope. The path ahead would be dangerous, strange, and full of challenges, but he had taken the first step. He had been chosen, and somehow he knew he could rise to meet whatever came next. The violet night stretched above them, stars reflected in the crystal plains. Alex's heart beat with anticipation, excitement, and a deep sense of responsibility. Lyria's hand brushed against his, a simple touch that carried trust, promise, and the weight of a bond yet to be fully understood. He smiled faintly. Whatever came next, he would not fail. The morning air was sharp and cool as Alex stepped onto the crystal plains beside Lyria. The twin suns had barely risen, casting long shadows over the sparkling ground. Today would be different. The rival faction had challenged Lyria's choice, and Alex knew the trials ahead would not just test his mind and courage, but his heart and loyalty. He felt a mixture of anxiety and determination. Lyria moved beside him, calm and poised, as if she carried the weight of her people lightly. Alex had learned quickly that confidence was contagious. Seeing her stand firm gave him strength he did not know he possessed. Their first challenge was immediate. The rival faction had set a trial in the Wraith Forest, a dense expanse where light barely touched the ground. The trees grew thick and twisted, their silver bark reflecting faint glimmers of the sun's rays. Dangerous predators lurked within, creatures that moved silently and struck without warning. The Varelians called it the proving ground for courage. "Stay close," Lyria whispered. "Trust your instincts. Remember what you have learned." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of the task. He had observed, calculated, and adapted in previous challenges, but this was different. Here, survival required not just intelligence, but instincts and courage. Every step he took could determine his fate. The forest seemed alive. Shadows moved between the trees, and whispers of wind carried sounds that were almost voices. Alex's heart pounded, but he focused on his training. He remembered Lyria's lessons: patience, observation, and courage. Suddenly, a predator leapt from the shadows, a sleek, silver-scaled creature with sharp claws and glowing amber eyes. Lyria reacted instantly, her spear striking with precision, while Alex used a combination of agility and quick thinking to distract the creature. Together they managed to drive it back into the shadows. "You are learning quickly," Lyria said, her voice steady, though her eyes showed relief. "You adapt. That is what makes you human and what makes you valuable." Alex felt pride swell inside him. For the first time, he realized he was not just surviving these trials. He was beginning to earn the respect of Lyria's people. The next trial involved negotiation with a group of elders from the rival faction. Alex had anticipated confrontation, but what he did not expect was the level of scrutiny. They questioned him about his intentions, his understanding of Varelian culture, and his ability to honor their traditions. Every word, every gesture mattered. He spoke honestly and respectfully, drawing on everything he had learned about the Varelian people. He emphasized respect, trust, and cooperation, explaining how humans and Varelians could support each other while honoring their differences. Lyria watched silently, her eyes focused on him as if measuring his soul. After hours of debate, the elders finally nodded. Alex had earned a measure of respect. It was not complete acceptance, but it was enough to continue. Days passed with trials that tested every aspect of his being. Physical endurance, mental acuity, strategic thinking, and emotional intelligence were all challenged. Alex found himself relying on instincts he had never needed before, and forming a bond with Lyria that went beyond admiration or respect. They laughed together in rare moments of relief, shared quiet conversations about life and duty, and supported each other when doubt crept in. Through it all, Alex began to understand what it meant to be a Varelian partner. It was not about dominance or submission. It was about equality, trust, and shared responsibility. Lyria did not expect him to be like her. She expected him to be himself, to honor his own nature while respecting hers. The final trial approached, a test that would decide not just his place beside Lyria, but the acceptance of her people. They were taken to the Plateau of Echoes, a vast open area surrounded by jagged cliffs. Here they would face a simulated battle designed to challenge strategy, leadership, and courage under pressure. The rival faction had brought their best warriors, and the simulation was brutal. Alex and Lyria had to coordinate, making split-second decisions while anticipating the moves of their opponents. The humans' ingenuity complemented the Varelian strength, and together they began to gain the upper hand. Alex discovered that human unpredictability was an advantage. The Varelians had studied patterns, tactics, and tradition. His ability to think differently, to improvise, and to adapt on the fly gave them unexpected victories. Lyria's confidence in him grew, and he felt a surge of pride knowing that he was not just a guest in this world. He was a partner. During the climax of the trial, a sudden collapse in the terrain created a dangerous situation. One of the rival warriors was about to fall into a deep crevice. Alex reacted instinctively, rushing forward to save him, even though it put him at risk. Lyria watched, impressed by his courage and selflessness. Together they managed to stabilize the situation, proving not only their skill but their commitment to honor and integrity. As the trial ended, silence fell over the plateau. The rival faction, previously skeptical, looked at Alex with new understanding. He had not only survived, he had shown qualities they respected: courage, intelligence, and above all, humanity. Lyria turned to him, her eyes reflecting pride and relief. "You have proven yourself, Alex, not just to me, but to them. You honor our traditions in ways I could not have imagined." Alex smiled, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. "I couldn't have done it without you," he admitted. "You guided me, taught me, and trusted me." She nodded, and for a moment the weight of their responsibilities seemed to lift. They stood together, a human and a Virelian, united by trust, respect, and the shared experience of the trials. The council gathered once more to announce the results. The rival faction formally recognized Alex as a worthy partner, and the ceremony to honor the bond began. It was simple, elegant, and filled with significance. Symbols of trust were exchanged, words of commitment were spoken, and the community witnessed the joining of two very different beings in mutual respect and understanding. As Alex and Lyria stood together, he realized how far he had come. He had faced fear, adapted to an alien world, and proven that humanity could rise to challenges far beyond what they had imagined. He had learned that strength came in many forms, and that courage was not just physical but also emotional and moral. That night, under the twin moons of the Virelian world, Alex and Lyria walked along the crystalline plains. The wind carried the scent of silvergrass and the distant hum of alien wildlife. They spoke quietly about the future, about the possibilities for humans and Virelians to learn from one another, and about the bond they had formed. "I never imagined this," Alex said, gazing at the stars. "I came here to observe, and I found this." He gestured between them, the connection they had forged. Lyria smiled, her hand brushing lightly against his. "This is what happens when trust, respect, and courage guide you. You were chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are human. You brought something unique, something our people needed to see." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. It was not just pride, it was belonging. He belonged here, not because he had conquered or dominated, but because he had respected, learned, and grown. He had honored their traditions and, in doing so, had become more than an outsider. The days that followed were filled with celebration and learning. Alex continued to explore the planet, study its flora and fauna, and deepen his understanding of Virelian culture. He trained alongside their warriors, shared knowledge from Earth, and helped mediate between factions when disagreements arose. Lyria remained by his side, a partner, a friend, and a guide. Through every challenge, Alex discovered the essence of humanity, the ability to adapt, to respect, to care, and to rise above fear. The Virelians, in turn, began to see humans not as weak outsiders, but as capable allies and worthy partners. And as the final days of the mating season drew to a close, Alex realized that this experience had changed him profoundly. He was no longer just an observer of an alien world. He was part of it, a bridge between species, and a testament to what humans could achieve when courage, respect, and intelligence guided their actions. The twin moons rose high in the sky, casting soft light over the plains. Alex and Lyria stood together, hands touching, hearts aligned, and spirits connected. In that moment, there was no fear, no doubt. Only trust, respect, and the quiet joy of being chosen, not because of strength alone, but because of character, courage, and the unyielding human spirit. As the winds of the planet swept across them, Alex smiled. He had faced the unknown, risen to the challenge, and discovered that being human was not a limitation. It was a gift. And in the heart of the Virelian world, he had found purpose, friendship, and something that felt like home. The mating season had ended, but the journey was only beginning. Together, Alex and Lyria would explore new possibilities, build bridges between worlds, and show that humanity, when guided by courage and respect, could achieve greatness beyond imagination. And in the quiet of the alien night, with stars reflecting on the crystalline plains, Alex knew one truth clearly. He had been chosen, not by luck, but because he had risen to meet the challenge, and in doing so, had become a part of something far greater than himself. The adventure was far from over, but Alex no longer feared the unknown. He welcomed it, ready to walk the path beside Lyria, side by side, human and Virelian, partners in every sense of the word.